Oh, hey everybody, welcome to our new Let's Play of one of my favorite games of all time, and I hope it is yours too, Dark Souls. This is Scoobadoop, and we're going to get on into things. We're going to start a new game, if that's alright with y'all, and in typical Dark Souls fashions, that means we will be sent straight into the character creator. Oh, enter name. I will name this character Scoob, after myself. There we go. We'll make him a male after myself. We'll make him... Alright, so I've been thinking pretty hard about this one. You know, what I want to do, what kind of character I want to create, or at least for this channel. And I haven't done this yet, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a character that just has the biggest weapon possible in one hand. So we're going for a strength sort of build, if that's okay. If you're not following me at this point, don't worry about it. We'll get into it later. But that means we'll want to start with the bandit class, I believe. In fact, we can go over the classes real quick. Yeah, sure. You've got your warrior. He's a pretty basic one, along with knight. If you're first starting out in the game, I would pick one of these. Your wander and your thief are more of your dexterity builds. Your bandit will be your strength, like pure strength. Your hunter is a dexterity, but it's more of a bow kind of guy. Obviously you can read them on these. Sorcerer, pretty straightforward. He uses magic. Pyromancer, that's an interesting sort of magic that we may touch on later time. Cleric, he uses faith, which is also kind of magic. And deprived is sort of like a silly sort of class. He just starts out with not a lot of things. The class system is not very important in this game. I'll just say that. It's not very important. We won't give ourselves a gift, because I'll hopefully go over it. We'll make our character large, because we're a big guy. We're gonna have, let's see, what do I want to be? Delta Farmer's pretty good. It doesn't really matter. Normally these things you won't see, so I'll just make me shaved. And, I don't know, dark brown hair. Sure. Alright, this is our character. Let's accept and get on into our adventure. Oh, here we go. Oh man, guys, this is gonna be great.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Oh, gives me chills every time. Love that intro. Alright, we are now getting into things. As the intro has told us, we are an undead. As you can see, look at us. We look awful. We don't look anything like that character we just created. But that knight up there dropped this corpse. We can pillage the corpse. We've got the dungeon cell key. Well, use the dungeons. Alright, we're free. What a surprise. Alright, so welcome to Dark Souls. This game is... wow, what can I say about this game? This game is amazing and I love it. I'm just gonna kill these guys. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. It's not that important. This is the introduction area, the Undead Asylum. And as we're going through here, you'll see all these little notes. You can read the messages on the floor by pressing A. These are developer notes. They're written by the developer, and they're basically just telling you the controls and everything. I think I'll go over them myself, though, if you don't mind. Basically, they're teaching you how to attack things and move the camera around. And then teaching you that you can run around, and you'll see in the top corner, I'll get into the HUD a little bit more, of course, but just for now, you'll see in the top left corner, we've got that 0, 0, don't worry about that, but we've got the red bar and the green bar. Red bar is, as in most games, a life, and the green bar is our stamina. And so our stamina is just like all of our actions that are, difficult. Like running, that'll use stamina. Walking, it refills stamina. And so stamina is not too complicated. It's just one of those things. Now, this is a new mechanic, bonfires. Bonfires are like checkpoints, if that makes sense, in other games. And that when you die, this is where you come back. There's not much to kill us right now, and I hope we don't die in this time. But, here we are. Actually, there is something. We'll see. So, we just see these big doors. Let's go in here. We saw that big thing earlier. I hope it doesn't come to kill us. And then we just walk in here. Looks pretty safe, right? Oh no! Ah! This is the Asylum Demon. This is the first boss of the game. And this will probably be where a lot of you new players will die. It'll just, your weapon is so weak, you don't have almost any armor, or I guess you do, but it's real bad, and it's just not that good. So what you actually want to do is you want to run over here, and just get out. Just get out of there. You don't want to deal with the Asylum Demon. No. No, thank you, sir. I mean, another bonfire here. How courteous of the game developers. It's nice of you. We can rest at the bonfire. We won't rest there. It's all right. Get your shield. Oh, we gotta get our shield. So we have this guy shooting at us. So we better purge his cloak. You get the spider shield. This shield changes depending on what character you're playing as, by the way. So Bandit starts with a spider shield. Spider shield is actually one of my favorite shields, so we may... well, we won't use it the rest of the game, but we will use it for quite a while. And we get the battle axe. Classic Bandit. Using an axe in it. It makes me think like the Bandit was maybe, wrongly named. Because this doesn't seem very bandit-y. Anyway, this is how you attack people. You have two types of attacks. You have a weak attack, which is just one button, and then you have a strong attack. It uses a lot more stamina, it's a lot slower. Attacking in this game, very deliberate. Just by the way, you want to make sure that all of your attacks are very deliberate and that they can't be interrupted. Now, oh, you see that knight? Looks like that nice knight who freed us. It might be nice to save him. You can't get in there though. But if you're, well, first of all, if you're very observant, you notice that you can go back down here. You go and open this door, and you can go back to earlier. But the Asylum Demon is now closed off by a key. If you look up here, you might see a metal ball. So if you walk up here a little bit, it'll start rolling, so you get out of the way. And that'll crush that wall. We won't worry about that up there. We gotta talk to our knight friend. Let's go talk to him. He freed us after all. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Well, of course. I mean, he helped us out.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
If you saw this little note came up behind you, if you use X, you have an item. Alright, now I'll talk about the bottom left corner of the screen. That is Oscar, by the way. He's the one who kicks off everything, and he brought up some interesting points that we may talk about in a second. About the lore and the sort of world. Oh! Sounds like he just died. But we'll get back to what he's talking about later. What was interesting is that he talked about her. Okay, stop. Bottom left corner, you'll see those 4 different keys. One is for your weapon in your right hand, and your weapon, and the other is for your weapon in your left hand. As you can see, they match up to what I'm doing. You can hold 2 things, not at the same time, but you can alternate between 2 things by pressing the left and right on the D-pad with those. The up button, or the up on the D-pad, if you're playing on the, I recommend playing this with the controller, by the way, if you're playing along with me too. Just saying. But the up will be magic. This character, I don't think we'll be using magic too much, if at all. So, and I think that'll just be a fun challenge for me. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If it gets painful to watch, we may develop some magic later. But the down button is, or the down direction there, is the item that you're holding. You can alternate between 5 different items. And we have right now an Estus flask. This is like a potion, and so you can use it, and it restores your health. You do have to, do the whole animation and everything. Alright, so right here, you'll see these little developer notes, and they're telling you how to attack and stuff. One of the big things that they taught me right here is that you can do a diving attack. So now, we're ready to take on this guy, so let's go for it. He's doing a diving attack, and you see, half his health's already gone. Oh, the Asylum Demon. He is not a hard fight. He may be hard for, the new guys, and it's alright if you die to him. You know, it's totally expected of you, of course. But you're gonna see a lot harder bosses. But he does teach an invaluable lesson. And I love that it's his design that does it. If you look at him, he's got a fat butt. Just look at that big old butt. He's a fat bottom girl. You know, we don't hate him for it. We actually love him for it. Why? Because this teaches players, hey, stay near the butt. You know, he's got a big butt. You like the butt. In this game, you are who's a good example? Not Trina. Well, Trina does like butts, but you know, it's usually her butt she likes. But Nicki Minaj. Oh yeah, you gotta treat it like Nicki Minaj. Just love the butt. Get all up in there. But that's usually the safest place with other bosses. Alright, now, but we beat that boss, and we got the big Pilgrim's Key. And so, what we can do is we can put it on this door. We can go through there. And we can, if you listen closely, you can still hear stomping around. That may hint at something later on, but for now, we'll just ignore it. A wink. But now, we're outside of the Undead Asylum! We did it! We're free! We flew over the cuckoo's nest, guys. But before we leave, there are a couple of things I want to note really quick. If you look over here, there's a crow's nest. You don't notice it's a crow's nest, but it is. And that is something we will talk about much later in the game. We won't even touch that for probably the entire game, really. But something else that if you go over, I want to say here, it's really well hidden. Yep. You see another corpse you can pillage. Gave a soul of a lost undead. We'll get into that later. Oh, by the way, in the bottom right corner is your soul counter. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, let's go ahead, and now that we are completely done with the Undead Asylum, let's go ahead and walk up here and see what happens.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.